Swole Z says, curious. I know Chana has team top channels and Joe is team wides. What about for 2 rows of seating? Where do you stand on 2 sets of side surrounds as a third option?
2 sets of side surrounds. I mean, yeah. Or you just put a bipole there and put it in between them. Right?
Not supposed to for Atmos though.
You
know. And? I mean, I'm using a tripole. I don't know if I'm supposed to do that either. I think it depends on how far the seating is and how big the room is.
Yeah.
You know, if you think that it's going to compromise the sound by one of them not having surrounds, you know, next to them, then yeah, you can run them in parallel or series depending on what your amp can handle. And yeah. Where do you stand on 2 sets of side surrounds as a third? But I'm kind of curious, like, so you still stand by if you had to choose between wides and tops, you'd choose the tops. You know, to be clear, I always say it depends. It depends on what you're going to be using. If you expect to have content that's going to utilize, you know, all 6 channels, then
yeah. I mean, I have my speaker on a sticks almost ready here. So I just now with this new amplifier here, I just got to connect them up and then figure out if I'm going to put the speaker in front. I got to see where it lines up. But as far as this room is concerned, there's no room for a front wide. Like yeah. And I don't think I wouldn't want a front wide in this room. It depends on the room, right? If you got this giant gap, right? Here, everything's pretty much equidistant. The front right is equidistant to the side right, and that side right is equidistant to the surround back right. So I'm okay here. I don't think it's a preference on. I think it's more room dependent than we want to we were saying. I saw that video.
And you know what I'm finding out is it could be based on how narrow dispersion are your speakers. And so if you have some speakers that are like firing like clip speakers that are very narrow, right?
How did that go, Joe? Are you being born?
The reason being, I have these full harmonic BMR speakers that are super wide dispersion. I don't know if they're like 89, I don't know, something ridiculous, right? Very wide dispersion. And in that case, it's kind of like you can move left and right and you're still in the sweet spot. You know what I mean? So it's bouncing off the sidewall and the sidewall reflection is kind of acting like the wides. So if I had BMRs in the left, center, right, and then side surround, it's covering a lot of area already, right? There's not going to be a place where I'm like, oh, I'm not hearing sound, right? So I think that is part of it too. Do you have a wide dispersion speaker?
Now, if you can't catch the show, we do have an audio version at anchor.fm/daily HiFi. So make sure to go on over there if you like to listen to the show.